dirty words or dirty phrases, things that didn't used to be dirty, didn't used to mean anything negative, but now it does in 2025. If you hear somebody say these things as a man or as a woman, it's possibly something that you need to view as a red flag. So number one, when somebody asks, specifically, I feel like when a man asks, what do you bring to the table? I don't think that that question is problematic in general, and I don't think that the origin of the question was problematic or toxic. At this point, it is, because you have a lot of men that have gotten hold of Kevin Samuels's content who are not the men that he's speaking for, and they're trying to take on this. They're trying to take that on as what they deserve or who they believe themselves to be. And to ask a woman, what do she bring to the table? At this point, it sounds like you might be looking for a maid. It sounds like you might be looking for someone to sleep with you whenever you say, someone to just wait on you hand and foot, someone who does not have a mind of their own. So that question is a little tricky. There's other ways to ask that question. Here's some examples. You could say, well, what are your favorite attributes about yourself? What is it that people have told you that they admire about you? Something along those lines. But yeah, what do you bring to the table? Again, I don't think it started out as a negative question, but I think today it has become a little bit negative because you have the wrong men asking, what do you bring to the table? Because what do they bring to the table? Okay. Number two, when I love to watch the Pop the Balloon show. Shout out to Arlette and BM. And I hear the women on the show, first thing out of their mouth when Arlette says, oh, so what type of man are you looking for? The first thing out of their mouth is, I'm looking for a provider. What? That word has become so dirty now. It sounds very toxic and very low vibrational because most of the women that's on social media or on the internet talking about they looking for a provider and they man got to be a provider. Those are the women that's problematic. So if you're not one of those women that's problematic, you know how to respect a man, you know how a woman should carry herself, you know what the responsibilities and the role is of a woman, then at the end of the day, to say that you're looking for a provider, you're going to make yourself blend in with those other women. So try not to say that. And the reason why I say that is because a solid man is already a provider. He knows that he's a provider. He thrives in being a provider. He wants to be a provider. He wakes up in the morning and go to work and stay out late at the job to be a provider because that's what he wants to do. That is what makes him feel good. That is what gives him purpose. So you really don't have to ask for that, right? So you ask for, okay, well, I'm sorry, Arlette will say, well, what type of man do you want? What type of man are you looking for? Maybe a better answer than I'm looking for a provider is, I'm looking for a man with good character. I'm looking for a man that has values, morals, and standards. I'm looking for a man who has vision, a man who knows where he wants to go in life and how his woman can help him get there. I'm looking for a man who wants to take care of his family, a man who is a family man, a man who is family oriented, right? Those things, like literally to be most of the things on that list or all of the things on that list, you got to be a provider in some type of way, right? But also sometimes people are not making enough money to pay all of the bills. So we got to kind of be realistic. And just because he can't pay all of the bills don't mean that he's any less of a man. That don't mean that he deserves less respect. Just because he can't afford to pay all of the bills and get your hair and nails done and take you on trips and buy you gifts and bags and take you to nice dinners. Like, come on now. Y'all know inflation is up, and y'all also know that people's pay has not increased even with inflation happening. There's entrepreneurship, right? There's going back to school. There's many ways to get the bag up if that's what you need to do. But don't penalize a solid man and just dismiss him or disrespect him because he can't pay all the bills and because you looking for a provider. Don't say that. Stop saying that, ladies. Stop saying it because you making yourself blend in with the ones that you probably are not. Okay? Number 3. Ooh, here's another one. I've heard this on social media so many times where the women ask like, Who comes first, your wife or your mother? Are you freaking kidding me? Why are we asking that question? It sounds like you're ready to go and compete with his mom. It sounds like you ready to go and meet her and let her know who is the HBIC. You want her to know who run this show, who run him, who runs her son. It's like that's what it's given to me. It's given very, very ego. It's giving very ego. It's giving borderline disrespect of the elders, because we talking about someone's mom. If you're dating a man and you're asking that about his mom, she's probably more than likely considered an elder. Now, I know people have kids young and stuff, so some elders be 31, right? But no, like, it just don't feel right. At one point when that question came about, it was a true question that really deserved people to really think about it and really truly answer the question, right? But now it sounds like when y'all ask that question, y'all ready to argue and fight somebody. Y'all trying to make the old lady sit in the back seat and stuff like that. Like, what? Who raised y'all? Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't mothers that's out here that's trying to do the same thing, meaning they trying to let you know, as his wife or his girlfriend, who's the HBIC. That doesn't mean that it's not mothers that's out here trying to let you know who run him, who runs her son. Because there are mothers that's out here doing that, and that's toxic too. That's toxic too. But if you're talking about yourself and you're looking at yourself, like, why are you trying to get the old lady to sit in the back seat? She probably got bad knees. She probably got a bad back or something like that. And you just trying to get the lady in the back seat? I love riding in the back seat because I'm always driving. Well, my husband drives a lot, but I drive a lot too. And so when I never get to ride in the back seat because I'm always either in the driver's seat or the passenger seat. So when I get a chance to actually be in the back seat, oh, yes. I'm about to look out the window. I'm about to be like a big kid, a little kid. I'm staring at kids in the back seat, staring at grown people in the back seat, looking at people, looking at stores and nature, just things that I don't really get to take part in when I'm driving. So, yeah, who comes first, the mother or the wife, and who gets to sit up front? That's silly. That's silly. I think it's bigger things to think about. And as a young person talking about an elder, sit your behind in the back seat. Sit your behind in the back seat and let them tell you, oh no, baby, go ahead, sit on up front with your man. Sit up front with your husband, because that's probably what they're going to say anyway. But that brings me to number 4. High value man, high value woman. Again, people have taken Kevin Samuels's talking points, and it's the wrong people adopting the mentality. Y'all gotta stop. Know who you are and know what you deserve, and know who you deserve. Know who you have access to. Know who you're eligible to have in your life. Stop it. Stop it. Stop saying I'm looking for a high value man or I'm looking for a high value woman, because to me it looks like you never had it. Also, stop describing yourself as that. Stop describing yourself as a high value man or a high value woman, because it looks like it's not true. Most high value people are not spending time labeling themselves as high value. They're actually spending time being high value, showing you that they're high value in their actions and in their deeds and in their words, right? So you think that you're putting yourself in a high value category because you're saying it or you're asking for it, but really you're actually exposing yourself. The real true high value people, they can tell that that's not you, or that you've never had that before. Just the fact that you're asking for it and the fact that you're describing yourself as that. I feel like if someone says, well, describe you, now you get to say things that make you high value, like I have integrity, I have dignity, I'm a good person, I treat people the way I want to be treated, I don't lie, things like that. I show you who I am, and I'm the same person when nobody is around, right? That's true high value. People who are showing it rather than calling it, rather than labeling themselves as that, or asking for that to be a quality in your partner. Because again, you start to blend in with those people. You start to blend in with those toxic ones. That brings me to number 5. Number 5, I keep hearing these women on not only, well, I hear it a lot on Kendra G. I love watching Kendra G. Shout out to Kendra G. The women on there talking about he got to make 6 figures. Not even realizing that 6 figures is $100,000. 6 figures is $100,000. Anywhere between $100,000 and $999,999. Right. That's 6 figures. So y'all sitting up here asking, like, again, you're blending in. I don't want to say that you a gold digger because you want your man to have a certain lifestyle and you want him to maybe be able to match yours or get close to it, or you want him to be able to provide a certain lifestyle for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a gold digger, but I just think it's about how you go about it. It's about how you say it. You know, what is your intent as you say it? Are you trying to tear someone down? Are you trying to make yourself seem like you're better than the next person? Like, what is the intent behind saying this man got to make 6 figures? I mean, I think obviously people are going to say, well, the intent is that he needs to make 6 figures. Yes, obviously. But I feel like it's something deeper. If he's high value, he probably makes that amount of money or more, or even something a little bit less, because high value is not exclusive to making 6 figures. You got to be a man with discipline or a woman with discipline. You got to, operate in integrity and morals and values. You got to treat people good. You got to be a good listener, or have the intent to be a good listener and a good communicator, a good relationship partner, a good business partner, a good family member, a good member of society. Someone that is not just out to take, someone who is also here to give. So if they are high value, they probably are making that amount of money or not, but you don't have to ask for that. You shouldn't, I don't want to say you don't have to ask for it, because it sounds like not what I mean. What I mean is, when you ask for a 6-figure man, when you go on Kendra G or Arlat or any of these other platforms and say he got to make 6 figures, it's literally a million other videos that we can pull up where it's a woman saying that. You're blending in with those women. And men know who they can afford. They know who they can afford to upkeep. So just be a good person and you will attract a high value person. Be a good person and maybe you will attract a 6-figure person, or you can help a person reach 6 figures or more. Stop asking these men who comes first, your wife or your mother. If he's high value, that's not a question. Okay? You don't have to ask for a man to be a provider. If he's high value, he's already a provider. That's in his blood. That's in his nature. That's in his existence. That is what he wants to do and be and give. And stop asking people what they bring to the table, because it sounds like you ain't bring nothing to the table. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you looking for somebody to just do everything for you and you not give anything in return. So I think those are some dirty phrases or dirty words that could be considered red flags in 2025. And if you don't want to blend in with those red flags, stop saying those things. Figure out a new way. Be more creative with your words so that you can get the point across that you're trying to make. Because people are going to miss the point when they hear these words. They're going to automatically recall a person that they saw on Kendra G or a person that they saw on Pop the Balloon. And now you're blended in with those people. So get creative. Okay?